Hello friends, my name is Aditya Kumar Panda. I am a 4-year classroom program student from Akash Institute, Medavakam, Chennai branch. I've had a motivation to become a doctor since my childhood. When I was a child, I was sitting behind my mother in a scooty and we were driving around Bhubaneswar when I saw a huge hoarding of Akash Institute. So a lot of toppers had come from that year's medical entrance examination. So my mother told me, stopped and told me that day that if you study well, then even your face could be there one day. So she told me how being a doctor is a very noble profession, and people always like doctors. Doctors always serve humanity. My father, who himself is a software engineer, has also motivated me to become a doctor and choose medicine as my career. So he always says that the people who have a good brain should always choose medicine as their career, because doctors are the ones who have to remember each medicine, each disease, and how to apply them in the real world as well. So he has also been a great inspiration. So when I was in grade 8, I told my parents that yeah, I want to become a doctor. So in 9th and 10th, I started to strengthen my foundations, because 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th are quite similar based on the concepts. They're kind of interrelated. So I tried to strengthen my concepts so it would become easier in 11th and 12th as well. So now I want to pursue MBBS in AIIMS Delhi, which is one of the most premium institutes of India. I came to know about Akash from the advertisements for Anthe in the newspapers. Then we visited the Medavakam Center, and the counselors, they informed us that lakhs of students appear for this exam every year. So my mother registered me for the exam, and I secured All India rank of 52, and I received 100% scholarship here. And then this was my first step towards my for my preparation for the NEET UG exam. So one of the most important strategies is to read NCERT thoroughly. After studying NCERT thoroughly, I always followed the Akash modules. I always read them once or twice. And after reading the modules, I used to solve the book back questions, the NCERT exercises, the in-text questions, the level 1, level 2 questions. The level 2 questions are a bit more difficult than level 1 questions, but it is highly important as it helps us to strengthen our concepts. So whatever doubts and questions I had, I always asked my faculty without any hesitation. So they cleared all my doubts. They were always available 24/7. I have received immense support. I didn't miss even a single class. I used to note on the key points which the teachers have given in the small space given in NCERT, the white column in the side of each book. So that helped me do a quick revision at the end of my NEET preparation when the final day was about to come. So what the basic idea is, during my NEET preparation, I also didn't focus much on board preparation. So the basic idea is that physics, chemistry, biology, the core subjects, they have the same syllabus and both are based on NCERT. So whenever I prepared for NEET UG, the board preparation, it happens automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. The only thing which is extra is the derivations in physics and chemistry. So that takes a minimal amount of time. You don't need to study too much on it. Like if you practice derivations once or twice, it happens automatically. The additional subjects which I had were maths and English. So every week I spent quite a while of time. So for maths, for example, I spent seven hours a week. So that was enough for my board preparation. Before the boards, we had the pre-board, so I scored quite well during my pre-board. So I knew that I would do well in my boards. So I scored 96.2% in my CBSE board exam. So I think my plan worked out quite well. The last few months before NEET is quite crucial for all the students. So during that time, I tried to revise 11th and 12th concepts very clearly. So at that point of time, you know all your concepts, you have studied everything. So that's the point I believe is you have to give your finishing touches. You have to patch up anything which you're a little weak in. So how do you do that? You can do that by solving maximum number of questions. So as you solve more and more questions, you will know that which concepts you're slightly weaker in, and then you can ask your questions and figure that out, and so hopefully you won't make the same mistakes in the final exam. So 45 days ago NEET, we had the final test series organized by Akash, which was quite NEET oriented. So from the final test series, I was able to plan my strategies which I would apply in the final day. So I had planned a way in which I would fill my OMR, how much time before I would finish my exam. So bio I was able to finish in 30 to 40 minutes. Chemistry 2 was finishable in that amount of time, so 30 to 40 minutes. So the rest amount of time I was able to dedicate to physics. So physics, I took it quite slow. I almost took 1 hour 15 minutes to solve physics. I went quite slowly because we have to solve a lot of numericals. So if I took it very quickly, then chances are that your silly mistakes would increase. So in the final day, I was able to finish my exam before the stipulated amount of time. So then I had the chance to revisit my paper and to check if I had made any silly mistakes. Then I was able to fill my OMR with peace, making sure that I have not made any bubbling mistakes and so on. So the confidence I had during my NEET day was due to giving the final test series. So I would suggest all the students to write all the FTS test series to their fullest extent, so that it helps quite well in their final exam. So my advice for future NEET aspirants will be to remain consistent throughout your preparation. You should not take 11th lightly, as the final exam has both 11th and 12th in the almost same weightage. So you must study 11th and 12th with the same sincerity. I would also recommend you to write all your tests. You must not miss a single test. And after you write the test, you should not leave it as it is. You must analyze what mistakes you have made, and you must clarify that with the faculty as soon as possible. So by doing that, you'll be able to know your mistakes, you'll be able to strengthen your concepts, and hopefully not make that in future exams, and of course in the final NEET test. And one more point that I would also like to emphasize is to maintain good health during these 2 years. You must not fall sick, because only if you are healthy you'll be able to study properly. You must also take a good amount of sleep, minimum of 6 hours. If you're able to sleep, 8 hours too. And then one more piece of advice that I would like to give is to not use social media during these 2 years. So social media will stay as it is, but if you waste these 2 years, it's not going to come back. So hopefully you'll be able to perform well in your tests. And even if you score less marks, or even if your marks are fluctuating, you should not get demotivated, as it is never too late to start again. So I just wanted to end with saying that all the best. Thank you.